There
And
you
we
are.
are. Look at us. Look at us go. I think I'll turn off the dancing Rick, though. It's a little too distracting.
I said I'm Pickle Rick.
Good times, though.
I like what you got. Good job.
Solus, thanks for the host.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We've got or thanks for stopping by, really, what I should say. We've got Eagle Senpai and Mr. Solus Havoc, also two streamers. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah. What are your go-to games lately? It seems like we pretty much mostly, with the exception of Mr. Solus, who doesn't play the Rocket Leagues with us, but what are your go-to games we've been playing?
I'll let Eagle go first.
Yeah.
Pretty much a lot of Rocket League. We got a bunch of Rocket Leagues coming up and Blackjack.
Yeah. So what's the website you go to do that? The blackjack.
5dimes.eu.
5dimes.eu.
Yep, you can use Bitcoin to deposit as well as you can use direct deposit. I don't mind the direct deposit too much, so I use that.
Okay. Yeah, direct deposit. I mean, it's fine, but it's amazing. Are they going to accept other cryptocurrencies or just Bitcoin right now?
What you got.
Right now it's just Bitcoin, but for the most part, it's just whatchamacallit.
Thanks for the host, Rail. You're awesome. Yeah, because what's going to happen? Like, there's over 1,000 different types of cryptocurrency out there. You can come up and you can make your own. You know, like if all of us got together and had enough money, and we could literally make our own cryptocurrency. It takes a lot of money to do it, though. You know, it's
Curiosity, because I know just kicked off. Mr. Danky 007 and Logan Bro were asking if they could join too. Not sure if you want to. It is your thing, so figured I'd ask you.
Well, the format, I don't really know if it'll work out properly because of the way our three screens are put together. Like, let's do that next Sunday. You know, they're more than welcome to join then. Plus, we can have more people on the podcast. That's not a problem. We just started, and I'd like to just continue on with what we're doing.
We'll call it Podcast 15 Group Therapy.
There, group therapy. What are we gonna learn, huh?
I don't know.
What kind of therapy are we gonna learn? Is it so
chemotherapy? I don't know.
moist therapy?
So moist.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I forgot Eagle's talking to his chat right now, so it's like every time I'm like, oh crap, his mic's muted. Nope, he's talking to his chat.
What? Video game.
Rail said he'd love to. You gotta go to bed. Thanks, man. Thanks for that host. It's okay.
Rail don't have to go to bed. Bed's for fucking losers.
Yeah.
Stay up, Rail.
Sleep is for the weak.
You can sleep when you're dead. At least that's what I was always told.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
He said, I just moved and dumped my girlfriend of a year and a half. Dude.
Damn, bro.
Dude.
You're probably still drunk then.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Is that Anti? It is Anti. Dude, it's way back in the day. I haven't talked to Anti in years, man. He's having a lot of things do well in his life right now. So,
GG. Glad for you.
let's just jump right into it. Our top 5 favorite games. And we don't have to give them all at once. I think like we kind of did last time, where one of us will give one favorite game, and then the next person over do the next favorite, and so on and so on. That way we're not giving them all our favorites, because we might actually have some of the same favorite games. So, all going to start it off. And these are in no particular order. They are just my favorite games that I love playing. And I'm going to start
Mine
off.
are ranked.
Of course, yours are ranked. Number 1, right off the bat, Rocket League. I still love playing that game. It's one of my favorite go-to games. If you've got 5 minutes to spare, you can get a quick game in. You got 10 minutes, you got 2 games. You know, you can drop in and out of that very easily. And the whole concept, I just love it. You know, it's just better soccer, because soccer in itself is pretty boring to me. So my first one is Rocket League. Who wants to go next?
I'll let Eagle go. This is like my third one, so I'll let Eagle go first.
Yeah.
Okay. My 5th most favorite game would have to be Call of Duty World at War.
Like the first one? Which one?
Yep, the very first one, not
Where
the
the
most
zombies
recent, like
started.
yeah, where zombies started. Because that one was like it
Mhm.
was very interesting to me. I always had it to be like one of those games that I enjoyed the sniping parts of it, where
Yeah.
you could just go. What I can't even think of the mission name, but the one where you're following the general, just all through, and it was a nice little history thing for me. I really enjoyed that one. Plus the zombies, that was a really fun thing. I remember a ton of countless nights on like Darius and Totem getting up to like 50 and 40s. So really fun game. Definitely number 5 for me.
I like the whole Black Ops series overall.
They've announced number 4.
Have they really? I hope it's not as bad as what was the one that was in space, the Call of Duty in space or something, some stupid one.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it, but I'm so glad I didn't get it because the whole community was pissed off. They're like, "No, this is terrible. We're not. No."
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. So let's go.
Okay. So I'm gonna go old school here.
I got a couple
just 'cause
too. Go ahead.
I like retro games.
Yeah.
So Mega Man X.
Wow. Did not see that coming.
That
Did not
is-
see
yeah,
that one.
Mega Man X. Love the shit out of that game, and X2 as well. So they're both kind of like right there.
Yeah.
Love the Mega Man series. Period. The new whatever it was they come out with a few years ago. What is it? It was like, man, but it was called something else.
Yeah.
That's how important it was.
I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of that game
Yeah, I can't.
because it was like the creator branched off and just did kind of a remake.
Yeah, it wasn't even a real Capcom game.
Yeah.
It's like an off-brand
Mm-hmm.
game. So, but yeah, Mega Man X. I remember playing that game forever, and I always thought it was cool because I always thought, Mega Man's a robot. He should get upgrades. Well, in that game, you could get the white armor and all that, and boost yourself up to be this badass robot. And you're like, all right, I like that.
Nice.
It always stuck with me as a kid.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll go with my retro game that I enjoy and still enjoy to this day, and backing their newest game on Kickstarter right now.
Uh-oh.
And that's going to be Toe Jam and Earl from the original Sega Genesis. It is amazing. And I
Yep.
grew up playing it. I was glued to it. I'll give you the gist of it if you don't. Do you not know what it is? Does anyone not know what it is real quick?
I do not know what it is. Might
All
be
right.
a little bit before my time.
It you're right. It's two aliens, Toe Jam and Earl, crash land on Earth, and their spaceship basically just goes off in a bunch of different pieces throughout the Earth. Well, you have to go around and collect all your spaceship pieces. So you can ride your ship back to their home planet, which is of course Funkatron. That's their home planet. And so they made a second one. It was terrible. They made a third one. It was pretty garbage as well. Well, there's such a huge community around it that people want that game to come back. They made a Kickstarter for it. I'm already backing it. I think I get a couple of additional keys. I might give those away on stream so other people can play along with me. So I'm excited because they're going to base it on the original game, not these other two, the second and third ones that were terrible. They were
Right,
both.
they're-
I
they're
bought
not
them
canon.
because I wanted to verify that they were terrible. I didn't want to just go off on what internet was saying. They were terrible. They were both terrible. So
yeah, they're not canon.
yeah, they was.
They're irrelevant, sir.
They're terrible. They're both terrible. I regret purchasing them, but I had to find out. I had to know for myself, and
Right.
the internet was
Kind of
right.
like I wasted $100 on Infinite Warfare just to get Modern Warfare Remastered, just to wait 6 months to
Yep.
have them release
Yep.
Modern Warfare
Yep.
standalone.
No. He says,
Fuck you,
Anti
yeah.
says, Love X still have it.
Salty about that.
Salty.
Yes. Yeah, I'm salty at Infinity Ward for making me do that.
I would be too. You lost money. So,
A lot
Yeah.
of
yeah. Who
because
was
the
going to.
game was for the garbage. I'll go next.
Good, good.
Now both of these also rank kind of up there. Sonic 3 on the Sega Genesis, but I always loved Sonic and Knuckles because you could take Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 and put on the top of it and play through
Yeah.
all the Sonic 3 story, continue on into the Sonic and Knuckles.
Did you ever buy the Game Genie that you put on top of it? You put
No.
put your game on top of the Game Genie, and then
You know
you can,
why? You know
because
why?
cheating is
Because I'm-
awesome.
No, because I'm a real gamer.
Lies.
Lie. I mean, because I'm a man. No, I'm playing.
Dude, this is back in the day.
I was the kid that, the Game Genie thing was like, I mean, I did the whole, what was it? Up, down, left, right, select, start, A,
That's
B,
Contra,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Contra.
Yeah. Now, I would use the shit out of that because Contra was a
Here's one thing most people don't know about the Game Genie, if they ever did use it, is that you take the developer codes. They give you these certain codes you put in the game before the game starts, and that gives you a certain amount of cheats, such as infinite life, infinite ammo, blah, 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 blah. Well, what they didn't tell you is that you can use these codes and change one letter or number of these codes, and it will change something in the game. So I sat down, because I'm a nerd and this is what I do with my free time. I went through, when I played Toe Jam and Earl, to just change a number and change a letter just to see what would happen. And I ended up finding all these new codes that would change the game in different ways, where these new Earthlings, that all of them would be one specific Earthling, or one of them would be an Earthling that doesn't hurt you in any way, shape, or form, or you get infinite of rocket boost, or all these other things. I was finding codes just by just changing letters and numbers and seeing what worked and what didn't work. I'm that much of a nerd, so sorry. Get on my level, is what I'm
The
saying.
only thing that I have in comparison to that would be when I played Action Replay. When I was using that for the Pokemon games, I would have to type in the whole entire code,
Yeah.
and it would be like lines of code. So I remember the event codes that I didn't have Wi-Fi to do them at the time, or like couldn't go to the event or whatever. So I would put in like 40 to 50 lines of code, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my god! And if you mistype one, that whole event is ruined. And yeah.
Okay.
That's why I didn't use codes. I used the simple one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One wrong button press, or you didn't fucking put a letter in, and it was this long, like fucking paragraph long code, and you're just like, well, shit.
Yep.
30 minutes of my life wasted.
Yeah. I guess I'm up next.
Yeah, go ahead.
My number 4 game.
Yep.
For PS4, Until Dawn.
Never played it.
You should. If you have a PS4, you definitely need to play that. It is an amazingly written story. A lot of fun, a lot of replayability, because there's so many different paths you can take. It's a really, really fun game, and you can basically cater it to like your individual play style too. They have that sort of emphasis on it.
Okay.
It's a really fun game, really well written. I've played it multiple times. It's a really fun game.
Nice. I've seen a couple YouTubers play it, but I didn't want to play through it myself, because if I played through it, it wouldn't be authentic, because I would already know what is happening. Same with like Outlast, like the original Outlast. I've seen so many other YouTubers play it that I feel like I would not be myself when I play it, because I know about certain jump scares that are going to happen,
Yep, that's why I don't watch any horror game playthroughs. If it's a game that I might want to play, or even some of them like Outlast, and I remember I actually watched Markiplier play some of Until Dawn,
Yeah.
and how he was playing it, it made it to where I didn't even want to try playing it. So it was like, well, I ended up buying it and not realizing that I'd watched Markiplier play it. And when I got to the point that he didn't, I was like, oh, I recognize this. And I only watched like 5 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And he did so little in that 5 minutes. It's like nothing.
Uh-oh. But have you seen people play it, though? Have you seen
the first one.
So you got Outlast 2 then, is what you're saying?
I got it all. I got Whistleblower. This is the Trinity. Includes
Nice.
Outlast 2, and Whistleblower. So, yeah,
Nice. The last horror game I played was, I think, Resident Evil 7.
I haven't played it yet.
I'm not giving you spoilers, but I ended up on some internet fails videos when I was playing that, because I literally got scared. Like, it was good. There were some good moments.
I have Resident Evil 7, Alien Isolation, and Outlast 1 and 2. I have all those like ready to go for whenever.
Do it, man. Do it.
Play.
Like, set up a time and date, and tweet that shit out, and we'll retweet it for you, so that way more people can show up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. I guess I'll go next. I'm gonna have to give it up to the full series of Grand Theft Auto, all of it. You can't just say one is better than the other because they're all good in their own aspects. I even played the original 1 and 2, the top-down looking, where you see this tiny little guy walk around and shoot the everything. It was still fun then, and then when they made it into what it is today,
Grand
where
Theft
it's
Auto
still
3 was the pinnacle.
there was Grand Theft Auto 3, and then there was Vice City. Vice City was amazing.
Good
And then
music. Had a good soundtrack.
Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5. It made $1 billion, over $1 billion.
Yep.
Yeah. For me,
They still want $50 for that game. It's
Because
over
they're still releasing content for it. I see stuff all the time. I don't have the game installed anymore, but they are still releasing DLC for it. And for the majority of it is free because there is still an audience out there that is still watching GTA games. I cannot wait for the next one though. I'm sure it's gonna top, and we all need to get it. And we all need to freaking stream it. It's gonna be amazing.
Red Dead Redemption.
Well, we already talked about that one. Yes.
2022 is when it's coming out for me. I'd have to say GTA 5 is easier to be picked, just because it adds such variety to it.
Yeah.
It's like y'all can be playing it online, and like you could have 20 different houses compared to all your friends. You can have different cars, different styles, different everything. I liked the customization of it.
Yeah.
Only thing I didn't like too much about it is they should have made it to where if I do something on PS4, it carries over to the Xbox One and the PC. That's something that I feel like they really lost out to, just because they're trying to stray away from modders.
I think it's
They're
more
like, oh yeah,
cross-platform issues where Xbox doesn't want to play nice with Sony and vice versa. They want to have their own thing. And this is one reason why Rocket League is bypassing all of that in their next. I don't know when the next update's going to happen, but they are building a code in the background that allows all platforms to play together simultaneously without having to deal with Xbox Live and PlayStation whatever it's called and whatever.
That's eventually where gaming is going to be.
They're going to bypass all of it, and it's going to fix.
They actually have something right now. That's why when you see side netters,
PlayStation,
it's either PlayStation or Xbox. I figured out you can play with one or the other for PC. It's not both. Same thing with Xbox. You can play with PC, and PS4 can play with PC, but PC can play with both of them right now.
Interesting.
Yep. And I see both sides of it. They both want to be able to sell their own consoles and do all that. And if you make it to where you can play anything on any console, they're going to lose out the friend market. Oh man, which console are you getting? Oh, you're getting PS5? Oh man, let me get that one. Oh, you're getting the Xbox too? Oh man, I really want to play with you. Let me go get that one. They're losing out on a lot of that market.
And also, Xbox is literally nickeling and diming the big developers and the little developers as well, because anytime that they need to push an update, like an Xbox Live update from their games, let's choose Battlefield, for example. Anytime there's a new update, Battlefield, EA has to pay Microsoft for each time they have an update. They can't. It's like almost like they're microtransactioning them or whatever. Especially, and that really hurts. That hurts the bottom developer because the people that don't have the most money can't constantly update their games because they have to pay this fee every time. And I'm sure that fee varies depending on developer, but that's not how you should be able to do games. Right.
I mean, for some of them, I can, not to be that guy, but I'm okay with them getting nickel and dime. EA, Bungie.
I don't care about.
Activision.
I'm talking about new guys, like guys who are just getting into it.
Like little guys, yeah, definitely. But like those three big companies, nickel and dime the fucking shit out of them. Like fuck
Thank
them.
you.
With how much microtransactions there are,
they fuck us over. They deserve to get fucked as well.
Exactly.
I agree. Yeah.
Call of Duty to me, okay, you brought up like Activision. Activision. God, Activision. It just like I want Sound of Silence playing right now in the stream because it's like how many times I've been fucked by Activision. That's right. Exactly.
The little violin.
Because what was it? Black Ops 3 come out. or no, not Black Ops, but okay, Sledgehammer, their very first shot at Call of Duty, which was fucking Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
Fucking horrible.
Oh my god, the microtransactions, the crates. I mean, it was that way in Ghost too, but at least Ghost was boots on ground. Like to me, the last good Call of Duty I played was Black Ops. I mean, Black Ops 3 was, out of all the newer ones, Black Ops 3 I think was still.
I like the
best.
Black Ops series, especially
But
because
it was Treyarch. It was Treyarch.
Black Ops 2 is the last good one for me.
I don't remember if it was 2 or 3, but it was when they added the perks where the support perks, not just the you get as many kills, you get these perks. It's the amount of support perks. So I can have scanning disruptions where they
Yep.
can't see the map. I can put down gun turrets and things like that. I can have eventually you get like a juggernaut suit, I think at some point. Plus there's other support class options where a care package where
Modern
it
Warfare
would
3.
it would drop in. This plane would come in, AC-130, not AC-130, but a C-130 would drop in 4 random care packages.
I think the only game EA, and as far as EA goes, the only game that I really see EA that does well is Battlefield.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Battlefront.
They did better on
horrible.
Battlefront 2. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
It's still not Battlefront. It's Battlefield Star Wars version. It's
Yep.
not Battlefront, which is what everyone wants, you know. Yeah, sure, we want the updated graphics, but for me, it's like, okay, I remember playing Battlefront 1 and 2 and being
Yep.
able to Galactic Conquest with my friends, you know, large, massive maps, and being able to
Yep.
go, you know, long action gameplay, which they got the large maps, don't get me wrong. The vehicles, I hate how they did those. I absolutely hate how it's like no matter what you do in the game, there's always some guy who's like, oh man, I've played 100 hours in just this TIE fighter. You know, it's like,
Yeah, it's too much. It's too grindy,
Dude,
yeah.
especially for a shooter.
way back
Yes.
in Battlefront 2 or just Battlefront, I can't remember, but when you were able to be like Darth Maul and just destroy
Wreck.
bitches, he
Wreck,
freaking wrecked people, man. I would pick him 100% of the time when I had on that map, and you're doing flips and shit. You're just constantly spinning your double-bladed lightsaber and just murdering fools. Oh,
That's the other
it's-
thing I think they lost out on is because with those heroes, you could sit there and you could chain the whole entire map if you wanted to.
Yeah.
They lost out on that too. They lost me with the heroes because it's like, oh man, you know, I want to do 5 attacks. Oh man, I can only go like 1 inch with each attack. You know, like no, give me some distance, give me some power. It's supposed to be, you know, a
Yeah.
powerful character that brings
Yeah,
fear.
you're
Not oh
fucking
man, there's
Darth
5 guys
Vader.
shooting at me, I'm dead.
I mean, you're fucking Darth Vader. He
Don't
should
fuck
be
Darth
able to,
Vader.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know I'm sure, but yeah.
Yeah.
Being an asshole to me. Anyway, but no, like but EA on the flip side, they do horrible shit,
They do.
just like Activision. Look at your, and I'm not knocking, for those of you that are sports fans out there, hear me this. I'm not knocking your game, but I am.
Oh,
So-
money.
Look at Madden.
Right.
Look, okay,
Mhm.
big NFL sports franchise. All right. So you sit here, you get the 2019 edition. All right, you play it. You're like, yeah. Well, they announced the 2020, of course, like they do every year. It's basically you're buying the same game with an updated roster, or
Yep.
a different. Well, we changed the way the passing is, or we changed the way a fucking field goal's kicked.
Right.
Really? So I'm paying you an extra $60 for some updated graphics, a roster, and my arrow looks different when I go to kick a field goal.
Right.
2
Yep.
words for you. Fuck you.
Well, and that's the same thing that Destiny did, and it's like if you look at Destiny versus like the Madden games, everyone's oh man, let me go get the newest Madden, you know, whatever. But Destiny lost a lot of its player base by doing that same exact thing. Like, oh man, you know, we've added, 4 new story missions and 2 new weapons, and
It's
we
rescanning.
lost our minds over it because it was only like, oh man, you guys want us to pay $60 for like 30 minutes of gameplay? Like, no.
Yep. Yep. To me, when it comes to sports games like that, they need to come in 3 to 4 year increments. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
And what you could do is every 3 to 4 years. Anti's like, I've been saying that for every sports game, damn it.
Yeah.
But all you need to do is do like what Rockstar does with GTA. They just send out an update. Pay your fee. Updated roster every 6 months. Yep. There's so much you can do, even on console. I mean, you can update games, how they play, and I mean, it's to me, it's mind-boggling, and that's the reason why this year I'm probably not going to buy Call of Duty this year.
Yeah.
I stopped buying Call of Duty. If I get them as gift, that's one thing. I've not spent any of my money on Call of Duty since Advanced Warfare. Actually, I haven't spent my own money on it.
I mean, I bought the last two, but this year I'm just not. I'm just like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for another. What I would really like to see them do is take the engine they used for Battlefield 1, and I want that to be used to make a modern Battlefield, a modern day Battlefield like Battlefield 4, but constantly keep it updated. To me, that would be, I would buy. And even if they said, well, we're gonna have to charge you, $100. Okay, well if it's good like Battlefield, I like Battlefield 4. If it was good like Battlefield 4 was, and you're gonna constantly give me updates and DLC, sure, I'll drop the $100 on it. I don't care. But if it's gonna be one of these things like, oh, everybody was talking about like when Battlefield 4, between Battlefield 1, 4 and Battlefield 1, you had whatever it is, the Hardline. I said all Hardline was for EA was to test the new engine that they were using for Battlefield. That was it. That was all that was. And people ate it up. Oh, well, look, dude, you just paid $60 for Battlefield 1's engine. That's all you did.
Yeah, you did.
But that Battlefield. So back when I was in a clan with a gaming community with them, and back in like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 3 started. We split off, made our own division. We had our largest division of it. Out of like Call of Duty and Halo games too, we had the largest squads, etc. So we went when Battlefield 4 came out. We went through this whole entire thing of, oh well, I want to play Battlefield 4, but he wants to play Battlefield 3. And that alone just killed our squad. And then once people finally realized, oh man, as long as we can play one of these two games, they're allowing us to do whatever. That rebuilt our squad. And then Battlefield Hardline came out, and it was literally split two ways. It was split. Me and the other higher ups were all like, no, we do not want to play Battlefield Hardline. It is a horrible game. Played it, tried it. No, we're not spending money on a server. Because mind you, we're spending $90 every 3 months to put up a server for our practices.
Well, Hardline,
we literally lost half of our squad because of Hardline.
Hardline took a big turn against what Battlefield's core audience is all about. They decided to do police military combat. Like, why would you even consider that as an option? Just because you haven't done it before doesn't mean stick with what works, where your fan base is, and if people don't like it, listen to them. Well, they are listening now, but it's a little freaking too late.
Well, it's like Activision. Look at what Activision did. Okay, so you had Black Ops 2 hit. Okay, everybody loved Black Ops 2. And I did. I loved Black Ops 2. Like the zombies, and the way they did all the DLC and everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sledgehammer came into play. Said, "Hey, look, we got an idea." Because at the time, games like Titanfall were out, Halo.
Yep.
They had a lot of these games were kind of futuristic. And I said, "Well, let's take Call of Duty, because it was kind of futuristic in Black Ops 2. They're like, well, let's push the envelope a little bit." So they give you like jetpacking or these mech suits or whatever, and so Sledgehammer did that. Treyarch come behind him and said, okay, we're going to do the same thing, but only we'll make you a cybernetically enhanced human being, more, because they were listening to the kids. And I use that term loosely because they weren't really listening to their fan base. to the true fan base, like guys like us. They were listening because what was it boiling down to is these parents and stuff, and kids were running out there, going, oh well, I play Halo and that's what I grew up on. I'd want this. We're gonna buy it. And so they dove to them. Well, they lost almost, I want to say around 75% of their fan base because of the jetpacking era of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
To me, it's somebody asked me one time, I was doing a podcast with another friend of mine, we were talking about this, and he was like, I was like, Black Ops 3 was not a bad game. Okay, I actually enjoyed Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
And what made Black Ops 3 enjoyable was the extra stuff that they added as far as like characters. Like you had one with a bow,
Mm-hmm.
you had the guy with the spikes, they had their own little special abilities, and I kind of like that. But the microtransactions, fuck them. The pay to win, that's what killed it for me in Black Ops. But going back to what I was saying is the reason why Infinity Ward decided to go back to being, or not Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer decided to go back because they're the ones that started the trenches. I guess they figured, well, if we go back to boots on the ground, the other two will follow. Because I'm here to tell you, when the release trailer for Battlefield 1 versus Infinite Warfare came out, the only reason why I bought Infinite Warfare was because a sub bought it for me. Well, give me half and said, if you buy this, I'll play. And we played a few games and everything, and we still he even got ready. He's like, this is utter garbage.
Yeah.
This is just utter garbage. What Infinity Ward really should have done, they should have took the stand, because originally they were the ones that started the Call of Duty series, if I'm not mistaken. Was like Call of Duty 3, I think. And then World at War was Treyarch. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But when lost my train of thought. But when they dropped Infinite Warfare and they saw it tank,
Right.
if I was the head of Infinity Ward and I knew that these futuristic shooters were tanking, what I would have really done was gone to Activision and said, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to remaster Modern Warfare 1 and 2 and 3, and we're going to release them as full games.
That is a great idea.
Okay? But we're going to create content for those. We're going to create some more new maps. So, like, I mean, you had one Halo that had all 3 Halo games minus Reach on it. Why couldn't Infinity Ward do the same thing?
See, those I didn't like as much as
People would have ate that game up. They would have. If you would have told me, hey, you're getting all 3 Modern Warfare's remastered, I would, hands down, would have bought it.
I would probably buy that as well, because I want to have the new graphics, new engine, same maps, slightly altered a little bit, but it just brings you back to when you were just had a blast playing Call of Duty. And that has not happened. I can't remember the last Call of Duty game I've played where I'm like, this is fun, I can't wait to play it again, So
I'm going to show you right here.
What?
Yeah, well, for me,
I have it, and I'm here to tell you. You know where it sits? Down here beside my feet most of the time.
Good.
My kids play this more than I do.
Yeah.
And they play the zombies. They don't even like the multiplayer.
for me, like, I get where you're coming from with what, like, Halo did and trying to, get Modern Warfare to do the same thing. I actually prefer when they release just the remastered version by itself, because, Modern Warfare, like, I don't think it had a button to where you could switch between the graphics compared to the Halo did. And while it was cool and all to switch between the graphics, one thing I realized is they didn't do anything for, like, playability of the game or anything with that. They just took the game and reskinned it. Wasn't a remaster. They didn't fix any bugs or glitches. I was still able to do all of the glitches that I was able to do before.
Yep.
They just strictly reskinned it. I would much rather have a full remaster and then, ditch the old graphics, put it on a new engine, than just have them here's a reskin of the game. That doesn't work for me.
Now, to me, you talk about an old series of games, and I've been playing them, and I didn't think I was going to like them because I wasn't into them when they were on the other.
Get the phone!
The phone!
The phone is ringing!
Your phone's ringing. But I'm going to be honest with you. Not a big fan of this series of games. but I have to say these last two. So far, I played the last game in this, and I'm currently playing this game, and they are so fucking amazing.
What game's
right
that?
here.
Tomb Raider? Yeah, I've heard good things about the new one.
Raider.
The new one?
My
Yeah.
God, they've made me a fan.
Nice.
Those are
Made
some
me a
good
fan.
games.
Are you going to stream it? Or are you still streaming
Yeah, I've been
Batman and
streaming.
stuff? Have you?
No, I've been streaming it. I'll start back Monday or Tuesday to finish that one up. That's the second one, and then I'm going to start the Batman.
Speaking of games,
Oh.
the Tomb Raider series I like, but I guess I'm gonna hop back to the top 3. Or
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
you guys
we're still not on full on down with our list. We've been talking about Call of Duty for the last 20
Yeah.
minutes, so yeah.
Number 3 for me, and this is kind of a torn. My top 3 are all from the same series, so this will probably be a good giveaway. But number 3 would have to be Breath of the Wild for me after thinking about it. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, because like I liked it. There were a couple things I wish they could have done a little bit more of, like added in some of that music playability that you had in with the other ones. Other than that, I loved the open map Zelda. I know a lot of people really hated that. I loved the amount of quests that it put in because it was like just the right amount, and the combat, like completely overworking that. It's not like Dark Souls level where you can do all this other stuff, but it was nice because it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I can block with my shield that never breaks, or the weapons durability that really got to me a little bit. But it still was a really fun game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Does that bring it back to me, or am I next?
Actually, I left. Yes, go ahead, Shane.
I think it. All right. All right. So this is for way back in the day, when it was actually a good game. It's not a good game anymore. In fact, Sony stopped making servers and having this game actually be
relevant.
Yeah, it sucks because in its heyday, it was so good. And that's what's called Star Wars Galaxies from way back in the day.
Never played it. Never
And-
even heard of it.
Okay, well, here's the thing. They gave us the base game before they ruined it was they gave us like, I don't know, 10, 15 different professions, right? Well,
Right.
you get to master all of those professions if you want to. You can't do them all at once.
I like what you got. Good job.
Thanks, Endeavorance, for the host. Okay, short answer. You can go up and you can grind your way up through each class, right? Well, there's a certain set of classes that are pre-detest before you actually go up into it. They're random, completely random. So what it means is you're trying to become a Jedi to become Force sensitive. So in order to get a Jedi first, you have to keep mastering these classes. One could be armor smith, one could be weaponsmith, one could be a droid engineer, and so on and so on. There's bounty hunters in the game, and where eventually, when I did actually become a Jedi, they would have real life person who is a bounty hunter would receive a bounty to try to come kill me, and I look forward to those fights because I didn't win 100% of them, and that was enjoyable to me. As a Jedi, being always constantly having to be like on the just worry about that a bounty hunter is trying to come kill me. That was so enjoyable. Well, they completely destroyed the game because so many people complained that you had to say there's 10, 15 different classes you had to master. Well, people consider that to be a grind because there's no rhyme or reason. You could master 10 of those classes, not get anywhere near Force sensitive, could not become a Jedi. So that person just wasted all that time grinding to try to become a Jedi. So they streamline that process where people can become Force sensitive right when they start the game. If some people wanted to be a Jedi, some people want to be a bounty hunter, and so on and so on. They destroyed the game. 100% destroyed the game for changing that mechanic. And because of that, that game's not around anymore.
Yep.
But back in his day, it was amazing because we had our own community. You could build cities and you can have factory structures, and there was a hierarchy where like I was on the city council on a server to help make the server better. and it all went away. It's all gone now. But here's the thing: they're
I would be the guy just running around cutting people in half with my lightsaber.
well, says that's the thing. Like, do you want to grind 10 potential classes to try to become a Jedi, or would you rather try to be all these other classes that are available to you, like Commando, Bounty Hunter, Marksman, you name it?
Right.
So the game died because they just have bad. But in its day, I'm putting it on my list because I had so much fun, and if I could have recorded some of that and put it online for people to see, I think it would be a hit today. But it's not.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let the game die, just like Sony let it die. So it's gone now.
Yep. Be like Ella from
Yep.
Frozen, just let it go.
Let it go. All right, what's next?
So, I'm gonna have to play off of Eagle here,
Yeah.
Zelda, but not
Which
like
Zelda
like
though? Which Zelda?
Super NES.
So
Okay.
I played Ocarina of
Yeah.
Time. Did you ever play that one?
No, the only Zelda I ever got into was the one where you had to get the Master Sword and you
Yeah.
had to temper it and gold it and the silver arrow to kill Ganon and all that. I love that. That was the only Zelda I ever really got into and played. I've tried the other ones, but I couldn't get into them. They were just too different. Like I said, I'm an old I'm one of the old school players, so I like the retro.
Now that you mention it, the Ocarina of Time was on N64. So
Yeah, Link to the Past.
yeah,
Thank you. Ty.
Link to the Past, nice. Yeah, Ocarina of Time. It was a good one. Like I didn't play too many of the Zelda ones, but I look forward to every boss battle because they're just fun. You
Yep.
know. And it's just good storyline, wide open, almost sandbox type gameplay where you don't have to follow the main storyline if you don't want to, and that's big back in the day on Nintendo 64. And so yeah, good choice.
Yeah. That's actually brings me to my number two is Ocarina of Time. That was one of the games I remember playing as a child growing up, but that
Yeah.
was actually the first game I fully 100%ed.
Yeah,
It was a lot of fun, and as you're saying, each boss fight, you weren't going back and you weren't like, oh man, I've done this same exact fight like 5 times.
every
He's just
boss was different. Every boss.
yeah, every boss was different. Every dungeon was different. There was a little bit like it was an open sandbox. You could do in whatever order you wanted to.
Hmm.
There was just a couple of things that like you couldn't go into the temple. Like I remember one time I actually soft locked myself in the water temple because I didn't go and do or the fire temple. I locked myself in the fire temple because I didn't go and do something in the water temple that I needed to do, and because of that, it ended up I got locked in one of the heat rooms and I couldn't get out of it no matter what, and had to end up actually deleting the game and starting all over from square one.
Wow.
Because if you don't get the right items in some of them, like if you don't go get the hook shot first in the leaf temple, then when you go to the water temple, you can't do anything in it, and it's really easy to soft lock yourself in that one. And yeah,
So it was just unfortunate game development.
yeah. I mean, it was still a great game, and minus those like few bugs, it's still a really well game. That's a lot of speedrunners actually play that game today.
Yeah, like if they remade that game, I think a lot of people would play it. Like
They did on 3DS, which is why it wasn't as popular. If
Yeah.
they remade it for like the Switch, that would be a good one.
Well, there wasn't the new one. I don't know if it was Switch or whatever, but the new Zelda. Have you played that?
Yep, Breath of the Wild. That was the one I was just talking about too. It was nice because it had that massive open world map that you couldn't go, oh man, it takes me like a minute to get from one end of the field to the other. It's like, no, it takes you like 30 minutes, 40 minutes to run from one end of the map to the other.
There's no quick travel options.
There is, but you have to go and explore it to unlock it.
Okay, well at least it's an option though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm on my last one,
Yeah, I'm on my last one too.
Same.
and that's gonna be the Portal series, Portal 1 and 2. Love them. Absolutely love them. I've even made a couple custom maps that people can go download. If you go to the general forums for Portal on Steam and look for player created maps, and you can look for one I've had. I can link it in Discord if people would like to play it. I think Chronic and maybe Fangirl or Resident are probably the only two that I've played it so far, and were able to beat it. So, you know, I might make
Okay.
more at some point. I find it fascinating that you can literally customize and build a Portal map, and I love that. So,
See, depending on how their building physics is done, depends on if I like it or not. Halo, some of their maps were just god awful for custom designing it.
right,
I hated those compared to like I guess the easiest comparison is like Minecraft. You could make your own maps and it was super easy because it was like a 4x4 block grid.
right,
Um, that was just one of the things. Like if you're gonna do a sandbox thing, you have to do it right. You have to make sure it's gonna be an easy to use UIE. You have to make sure the parts are gonna do what you want them to do when you want them to do it. Like Mario Maker, that's another one. really got into that one
mm-hmm,
because it was such a good interface.
mm-hmm.
I like what you got. Good job.
Store Dragon, thanks for that the 3-view host. Appreciate that. You're awesome, man.
JJ.
All right, and that leaves us with Mr. Solus with the last game. What you got?
Last game, I would say, is that I could never get past, and I would, if I had an N64, I'd still play it today. GoldenEye. By far,
One sec.
when it comes,
Store Dragon, thanks for that follow. Appreciate it. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
so, with GoldenEye on the N64 was really, truly my first dive into multiplayer games.
That's a good
And
game,
the reason
man.
why I
was
say
good.
that is because, you know, you grab your buddies, you come over and you run missions and then you get in the multiplayer. Because I was still playing GoldenEye when a buddy of mine called me and introduced me to Halo.
It was still one of the very first games out there that you could
It
actually
changed.
have all 4 of your buddies in the same room off the same TV being able to either work together or work to kill each other. And that was so new at the time with the N64. So
Yep.
the Bond, James Bond.
Bond. Jim.
Yep. And I guess got my final one, sticking with the Zelda series over here. Majora's Mask for Legend of Zelda. That one is the whole little backstory to it. So they just released Ocarina of Time. You know, it was doing really well, and one of the other creators was basically like, "Man, you know, I want to make another one. Let me do that. It'll be like an offshoot, completely separate thing." And they're like, "Okay, we're not going to give you any funding though, and you're only going to have like a year to do it. If not, you know, you'll be off the team." So Majora's Mask was like the product of like a year's worth of work, and the amount of work that they put into it. That's one of the games that, unlike Ocarina of Time, you actually had the freedom to do whatever you wanted to. You were limited to like 3-day cycles, but you could sit there and there were 25 different stories that you could go through, and each one had a different little mask as like a reward that you did it. And it was just such a well done game for the amount of time that it had, that a lot of people theorize like if they had more time, it wasn't really release ready for their graphics and for the full story, because there's
Right.
parts of the code that are actually written in there that there's no use for them. So it was going to be a much bigger game if they actually had the time to fully do it. And the thing that sucks is they're never going to be able to release the game like they wanted to.
We'll see a lot
It's
of
good.
I see it. I agree with you because there's a lot of games that you find that, and
hmm
ones I blame for that are the publishers. The publishers are the ones that
They're like, we got to push it out. We got to get the money
Yeah,
right
we
now.
gotta go,
We,
we gotta
we
go,
don't
we
have
gotta
time.
go.
We don't have time. We got to get to make the money. And they don't consider that if you could polish your game just a little bit better, you would make even more money.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's what sucks is with that game, like nobody could figure out what the code was for or what it was gonna lead up to. But it really sucks because it was such a well done game for that. There's all the different stories, all the different characters and such all lead into something new, and it honestly sucks that they didn't get the full time that they wanted with it.
Yep. But anyway,
So I think that'll do it. That's our top 5 favorite games.
Yeah.
That actually lasted a lot longer than I thought it would, which is great because it's good content.
That Call of Duty talk.
right.
Yeah. Eagle, completely random. Like a buddy of mine, Smurf. We were playing twos, and
Captain Smart.
Captain Smurfberry. He was supposed to be on tonight. I don't know what happened to him, but doesn't matter.
Mhm.
We got up into Platinum Rocket League, dude. That's the highest I've ever been.
Now you just got to get the wins up to the platinum reward.
Yeah.
That's
Jeez.
the big one.
Like, I don't know. It's just for me spending any available time I have just trying to get better at the game, like playing some of the training, like air dribbling, for example. I'm not good at doing that, and I'm trying to go through the training because they have all these different scenarios where you can be better at the game.
Yeah.
And
And that's part of the thing with Rocket League is like the standard trainings that they have are great and all, but you have to go out and find some of the ones that like are custom made. Some of them are really well done.
mhm,
One of the ones that I started trying to do because I suck at walls is there's wall to air dribble,
mhm.
which that one's pretty nice. But yeah, it's just
The way
there's always a training for everything.
the way I've gotten better at walls lately is just turn off ball cam, and so that way you can focus directly. Because then all of a sudden that wall is now straight and forward in front of you instead of being
Yeah.
on the side. So when I'm on a wall, turn off ball cam for a quick little make sure I do this right, and boom, I'm good to go.
Yeah,
So
that's one of the things that like if I did that too, I probably could get right into walls, but I'm just a sucker for ball cam.
I love ball cam. I use it. I'd say 90-95% of the time,
Hmm.
and it's difficult. Of course, Solus doesn't know about that. He doesn't know about that ball cam life. So
No.
sorry,
Gotta get
dude.
some Rocket League, man.
Well, it's not
I,
for every.
I, there's a lot of games that will.
It's only fun
Play this.
when it's only fun if you lose a 2v1 to Eagle.
That didn't happen. That was someone else. Link to the Anti's top 5: Link to the Past, Bomberman Act Zero, Mega Man X, Majora's Mask, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Turtles in Time, which I enjoyed that on in the arcade, just spending countless quarters trying to beat that game, and eventually we did. I'm sure it cost me probably, I don't know.
I like what you got.
More than it would have
Good
bought the game in the
job.
system.
Exactly right. Thanks, Vast, for the host. Like, I'm thinking, like, how much money I probably spent on in an arcade just to beat that game was probably close to $20 to $30 in quarters, you know?
Hmm.
And
Oh.
it was fun at the time, but holy crap, that game was just a money pit, and it worked.
Hmm.
It was a good model. Anything else you guys want to talk about, like streaming wise? Like, when's your next charity stream? Eagle?
My next charity stream is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. Hopefully, it's going to be pretty good. I've gotten the word out to a ton of different streamers, and I thank everyone for the support that they have with getting the word out. Tomorrow at 1 p.m., though, I know we're going to be probably doing some drinks towards the end, later portion of it. Got a couple of different goals and giveaways that we're going to go through for it. So I'll just hoping at this point. And yeah, hopefully it'll be fun. We got some blackjack. I'll probably do some more blackjack later tonight. Get that bankroll up a little bit higher. I was only planning on doing 200, won 350 last night. So we're just adding up to that bankroll now.
Nice. Yeah, like I'll make sure I get you a host. I'll be at work tomorrow, so at least I'll get you a host in there. So
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that.
hmm starting at drinking at 1 o'clock. Well, I mean, you might be making some bad decisions later.
Hey, just remember, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is. It is.
Exactly.
You're not-
Only thing that I didn't quite think about is so I'm doing the charity stream tomorrow, and then the very next day at 7 a.m. I'm getting my wisdom teeth pulled.
Oh,
Oh,
I want to see a
damn.
stream of that.
I can't
You
drink
should-
after
do you-
it's like 12 or midnight. I can't
Do you like
drink
the
after
in real life streamers Twitch like, all right, and then have someone film you after it's over and be like, what's the that guy's name?
This is what it's gonna be like right here, guys.
Yeah,
Hey guys,
he's like,
So Eagle, how's everything feel?
welcome to the stream.
He's passed out right now.
is this real life? Is
Real
this?
life. Hi
Yeah.
guys.
Was
Yeah,
it?
we'll,
And when he gets
Dave-
done, he's gonna be like,
He might,
We're gonna
might
name-
stream that car right now.
It's gonna be Eagle after Dentist. That's what's gonna be.
Eagle after dentist.
Yeah. Gonna set it up for the day before. All I have to do is log into my phone and start that stream for the ride home.
I would watch
Cool.
that shit.
Be fun. But that's at 7:40 a.m. in the morning, so don't think anyone's gonna be on that early.
GG.
Battletoads. He says when they drink Battletoads, we'll be streaming live drunk. You talking about when they make Battletoads? Because Battletoads is way back in the day, dude. Such an old game. I don't know. So, any more streaming updates? Any tips you'd like to give to other people
Not
out there
from
who
my-
might be potential streamers, would like to get into the streaming atmosphere?
You want tips or what?
A little bit of anything. Basically, is trying to be consistent, and that's one thing that I am not lately, especially because I work full time. In fact, I just spoiler, I just picked up a second job, so I'm not gonna be. Most of the time that I'm gonna be streaming is gonna be on weekends. That's it, right now. You know.
I feel you. Oh, tips I can give to people.
Sure.
Of course, be consistent.
Mhm.
Don't give up on it. You're not gonna become the next huge blow up overnight partnered streamer in 6 months or even a year.
Hold on, Vast. Did you just get affiliate Vast? Because that's awesome.
Did you Vast?
Or is he just tips for someone who just got affiliate, such as like Saber just got affiliated and everything? So
That's
Okay, the biggest.
That's the one thing I'd have to agree with is consistency. Tributaries, if you guys don't know what he's doing a stream a day challenge. He's on his second year for that now. That is a great way, and his stream has grown so much just by doing that.
yeah,
That's the biggest thing is sticking to a schedule. Even if you're sick, if you don't feel, one of the things that I do is I look at the viewer count. You can't do that. You just got to stream and have fun with it.
mhm.
The other thing I'll do is I'll look at, oh man, how many followers does this guy have compared to me? You can't do that. If you're always comparing yourself to someone else, you're not going to enjoy it as much.
Right.
Biggest thing I can give to everybody, and I'm just going to go off of what Eagle was saying. Folks, do this because you want to do this. Don't do it for the numbers and the money. The
Yeah.
minute you start doing it for the numbers and the money and all that, you hate life. I kid you not. You
Yeah.
will fucking hate life because and just have fun with it.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm continuing to do this podcast right now, is because I have a ton of fun talking to you guys about video games, nerdy stuff, movies. Eventually, I would like to get into religion and politics, but we don't have to do that tonight.
God.
But I would love to talk about all the things you're not supposed to talk about. You know, why are we not supposed to talk about these things? Well, you're going to upset some people, and that happens because people have this current mindset. They think they know everything. I don't know everything. I'm willing to learn from you guys about the things you can teach me, and vice versa. And I would like to have my podcast grow and have more people on that have differences of opinion about everything in life. And try to remain as neutral as possible while doing that. Because you want to hear both sides. You want to be like, I could be in the middle and then have one person from the right or the left, for example, and eventually do that type of stuff. If there's people out there that are willing to listen to it. Some people won't. They check out. They're saying, nope, it's not for me.
Yep.
And I get that. But I
Mhm.
as part as who I am, I can't not talk about things that do have an impact on our lives, whether it be
Yeah.
politics or religion. They do have impacts on our lives, whether you like it or not. They do. So
Yeah.
Well, back to the streaming thing is I'm gonna use a
cigarette.
cigarette, but at the same time, it's I'm gonna bring up a streamer's name. If you get copyright issues, Inc., I'm sorry. But you look at streamers like Ninja. You look at
Yeah.
streamers like Tim the Tatman,
Yep.
Summit 1G, Shroud.
They've been doing it for so long.
They've been doing this stuff for.
They're the OGs
3 years,
of Twitch
yeah.
for sure.
I mean, everybody wants to know how to grow your channel, okay? And the best way I can do that is you look at Tim the Tatman.
Yeah.
He started the streaming as anybody else. He just wanted to have fun. He
Yep.
just wanted to have a joke and a laugh with friends, and he just still does that to this day, even though he's a partnered streamer.
Sure.
Okay. Then you look at somebody like Dr. Disrespect. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I get it. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of controversy at the end of the year, but he puts on a show.
He does, and he does.
He's
He is.
the biggest thing I can tell people is be yourself. If you're gonna be a character, be that character. Sell it. The people on Twitch, YouTube, whatever you're streaming on, whether it be whatever it is, people tend to don't watch the game. They watch you. They watch the community. And for me personally, I have way more fun when I have a very active chat. People are in there, we're laughing. I mean, Shink,
Yeah.
we've streamed together.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to have fun and make jokes. And,
Sure.
and have a good time. To me, that means more to me than somebody. I've seen streams where it's very little conversation in the chat, but there's always donos and bits and
Yeah.
subs and all.
Mhm.
And to me, that's just boring. I mean, because he's sitting, they're sitting here like, hey guys, appreciate that. Hey, appreciate that. Thanks. That's boring. It's like,
Well, in that
What?
case, it seems like they are watching the gameplay and not the streamer.
yeah. And I'd rather be watched than the game. I mean, I hope that you're enjoying the game I'm playing, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I'm going to play the game that I enjoy, and I hope that with this whole Tomb Raider thing, I've been enjoying the game. I had somebody tell me the other day, I turned the camera off for a second. They were like, wait a minute, turn the camera back on. We want to see your reaction.
Yeah.
I was like,
Because,
okay.
like, when you say you potentially die in the game or you have a
Yeah.
bad moment, well, you're gonna
Right.
have a bad moment, and they want to
Cuphead.
see.
Cuphead.
They wanted to see it, and I'm not playing that game. No, fuck that. I'm not doing it. No,
It's like, fuck it,
No.
I'm out.
no, not happening.
But
I'm-
no, that's the biggest things I can give people is don't worry about the numbers. Just play, just stream, and people will come, and they'll be like, if they come in, if you like, and I've heard this argument too. Well, I get a lot more viewers on this game or that game, so I don't play that game. Look, if you get to where you're only playing one game and it feels like a job, stay away from it.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah, and that's my other tip is don't just play one game because of the viewers. Grow your community, switch up games, but don't just play one game because of viewers. Because for me, that's blackjack. It's fun. I enjoy doing it, but at the same time, it's like if I go play Rocket League, if I go play PUBG, if I play anything else, I have no viewers because they're only interested in watching blackjack. And that's the one thing. Like, don't just stream one game. You gotta do a
You
variety.
gotta build your community.
And that was a lot of my problem when I first started out. I was only streaming Jackbox party games, and I still do occasionally. But there after like a good year of pretty much only streaming that, and then I would start streaming a couple other games. People would come in and be like, "Well, when you streaming Jackbox? When you streaming Jackbox?" I'm like, I want to play something else right now. We'll get to that
Yeah.
later. So you are going to alienate some people, but they're going to have to realize that
Yep.
you can't just play one game and be happy your whole life. Some people can, I guess, but that's very rare. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's the reason why with my streams coming up, I'm changing my whole schedule around. Mondays and Tuesdays are going to be story games now.
Mhm.
Wednesdays and Thursdays are going to be like Titanfall and Call of Duty, and we'll laugh and shoot some stuff up. And
Speaking of which,
Fridays,
you need to add
I
me.
might do some.
You need to add me for some Titanfall 2 so we can play together.
I've got you on it.
Have I already added you? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice, dude.
But Friday, I may try to do the Friday the 13th type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I hope they add more content to that game. It just
Well, I'm talking like horror games. That's when I'm gonna start playing some more like
yep.
Resident Evils, shit like that. And then Saturday, I'll leave Saturdays open for like my subs and people that want to play. And mostly that's like this Saturday was PUBG, but we'll play whatever. It's whatever the subs want.
Sure.
I will say I do got to run. It has been a blast, guys. I thank y'all for having me on. I unfortunately do have to run real quick because I need to go run a quick errand before the store closes.
That's fine. Do a little quick pimp out roll of yourself there. How can people find you on the social medias, the Twitches?
Twitter, Twitch, and I don't have a Facebook tied to that, but Eagle Senpai 86, especially tomorrow, doing that 12-hour stream. Would really appreciate it if y'all came in.
Yeah.
So, but thank you guys for having me. We'll see you around on the next one.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for stopping by.
Peace.
Yeah, I'm fixing to have to run too here in just a minute, Shink.
Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and end it here. I think pretty much if people have been to here, they've been to this channel, they know my contact information is down below. Shoot out yours real quick on Twitch and Twitter.
You can follow me, well, hopefully. Yeah, I'm a mod here.
And when is your next stream, by the way? Is it Monday?
Tomorrow. Playing Tomb Raider tomorrow.
Tomb
We're
Raider,
going to try to
okay.
finish it up. And I hope you guys are here. But here is my Twitch. Look,
There you go.
there's my Twitch. There's my Twitter.
Good deal.
You can always find me there on either Twitch, Twitter, and I'm trying to figure out another source of social media. I really don't want to do Facebook because
There's
it's
a
kinda toxic.
there's a new one that just came out that I listened to Joe Rogan's podcast and it's called like Verge or Vibe or starts with a V, and I can't remember the
Verb?
name. That
Like
could be.
Verb or something?
I don't know what it was called, but he started saying that like everyone's jumping on this new social media thing. So I might look into it, and then if it turns out to be a thing, I'll send a link to you. So, and then we'll go from there. I don't know. But thanks, Mr. Solus. It's always a pleasure. And thanks for
Always,
guys for
sir.
watching.
Always.
Thanks for the follows, the hosts, and I love you guys long time. And I'll see you guys next Sunday for the next podcast. Peace out. I'm gone.
Peace.